Okay, you're going to notice that the translation here is a little bit different. I'm using the Berean Study Bible, and I'll tell you the reasons for it when we get together on Wednesday. But I kind of hate to leave Job. I love what we have been studying. But it's the last chapter. This is a huge difference. One of the things we need to know is that Job was never ever told why. None of his questions about justice were ever answered. Now that's very interesting because we all scream and yell. Well, we don't all scream and yell, but you know what I mean. Culture screams and yell about things like social justice, and we don't even realize what we're talking about. And none of that matters. All that suffering, all that pain, none of that matters. What matters? Well, let's jump into it. Then Job replied to the Lord, I know that you can do all things and that no plan of yours can be thwarted. You asked, who is this who conceals my counsel without knowledge? Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. You said, listen now, and I will speak. I will question you, and you shall inform me. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Therefore, I retract my words and I repent in dust and ashes. Job so much wanted to know why. And now when he gets the opportunity, he doesn't know why, because he realized he doesn't know. God is the one that knows. And now he's getting to know God. I love the language. It says, my ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Huge, 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 huge. I mean, he's gone from having heard of him from other parties to now not only having heard from him, he could have said, my ears had heard of you, but now I have heard you myself. No, that's not what he said. My eyes have seen you. He is catching a full glimpse of who God is, because the why question was never the important question. The who question was the important question. Absolutely huge. He retracts his words. He takes all that back. He said, I take all that back. All these stuff about justice, and I take all that back. I repent in dust and ashes. I didn't know you. That was my problem, and that's what I need to know. And whenever we get in suffering and pain, we need to know God. That's what we need to know. So, anyway, God has a few words for Job's friends, and he tells them, so now, he said, you have not spoken about me accurately as my servant Job has. Now, take 7 bulls and 7 rams, go to my servant Job. Huge, that's huge. Go to my servant Job and sacrifice a burnt offering for yourselves. Then my servant Job will pray for you, and for I will accept his prayer and not deal with you according to your folly. For you have not spoken accurately about me as my servant Job has. We need to think about that. How many times do we pop off things about God or pop off advice and don't really even think about what we're saying, not realizing that God is going to hold us accountable to how we represented him? And this is a big deal. But think about this from the perspective of Job. His friends have been downright cruel. They have accused him of some horrible things. They have spoken mean words. And now Job is the one who's going to serve them by being a priest on their account. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. God is working this out. It's just great. And then God blesses Job. And this is the last part that I really want to focus on. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his prosperity and doubled his former possessions. Now there's a connection here. Job, by letting go of the crimes his friends committed to him and by serving them in a priestly fashion, God then restores his property. Now, remember all the things that he lost? Lost all his animals and lost all his kids? Listen to this. This is very, very interesting. Okay? So the Lord blessed Job's latter days more than his first. He owned 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, 1,000 female donkeys, and he also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Now, we can look at the beginning, chapters 1, and we can look at those numbers. You know, it used to be 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels. Everything has been doubled. And it says, and he doubled all his possessions. But then you get to his kids in verse 13, and he had 7 sons and 3 daughters. Well, what's up with that? I mean, why didn't he have 14 sons and 6 daughters? Well, I think one, God had mercy on his wife. But secondly, he's letting Job know, you didn't lose your kids. I have them. They're with me right now. And so these kids, and then he lives 140 years. Now there's a little thing in between here that we need to take a look at. And the time and the day in which he was, and still somewhat today, daughters weren't valued as much as sons. Sons were the ones that carried on the family name. Sons were the ones who you passed down the business to. Notice who gets remembered of the kids. Who's named? His 3 daughters. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then after this, Job lived 140 years. Job was probably around 200 when he died. And he saw his children and their children to the 4th generation. He's 60 years old, probably, when he lost all his kids. And he lives long enough to see his great-great-grandchildren. Very few of us get to do that. I love this. And Job died old and full of years. And everything that marked a righteous man, which was that, he received. It's a beautiful closing of a book. But we need to talk about how Job has changed. We're going to take a look at the things that he used to believe, and now the things that he has experienced that manifest a change in that belief. And so I hope you're having a great day, and sorry for the length of this. It was a little longer, but hey, it's 42. It's just a great ending. And so I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.